Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Shadow and Son Show, and welcome back to another Friday game review. As promised, today I'm going to be going over Fuscia Malaise. Let's see if I can get that without the glare. There you go. More beautiful artwork. Absolutely stunning. I just finished this book last night, and I was not at all surprised by 90% of the content. There was something actually toward the end that I'm going to go over that I was really happy to see. But you know, once again, we've been handed a gonzo masterpiece when it comes to role-playing games. This book, I'm very, very happy to have received it. Of course, Venger autographed it for us once again. Really love that. Little guy's going to have this book, you know, for decades, if not letting this book sit in a place of honor in the Shadow Library for centuries, I hope. If you don't have a copy of this book, what are you doing with your life? Go out and grab it. Once again, we have, for the most part, a hardcover with beautiful slip covers, which I'm going to take off just so I can handle the book a little easier. The jury's still out on whether I'm a fan of slip covers or not, because while the art is beautiful, the actual cover is quite classy. I really love this style. Old encyclopedia-ish kind of volume, because, you know, as a collector, I know that slipcover is going to be the first thing to go. I wish I could actually find a way to just put the slipcover. Maybe I'll get like a magazine backer board thing and just put that in there, because I know I'm going to go through this book a lot, as with all the books by Venger Satanis. I'm going to keep going back to it. While it's chock full of adventure ideas, one of the things besides the artwork, which this time was a little more, subdued, less, adult themes, but absolutely stunning artwork, was the massive amount of charts with random encounter ideas, just enough to get you going, just enough to allow you to work with it and create something, that's more your own, but absolutely just chock full of great miniature, let's just call them side quest ideas while you're going on your larger overarching adventure. Lots of little things, lots of little encounters, just absolutely perfect for new players who don't have a ton of ideas yet, and literally each time I believe there's some of the charts that there's literally 100 little snippets in there to really get you going and create something. I like the fact that all the monsters are laid out as simply as possible with all you need. You don't need walls of text to describe your basic monsters. Let's see if mutant clams, 20 hit points, AC 10, save 16, attack bonus +2, hit die 4, number of attacks 1, damage D4, and then that little box there is all you need after that. And there's crap tons of creatures to play with plenty of room to bring in your own critters. But here's one of my favorite pictures. Got a manticore just tearing up a party. Just freaking glorious artwork. Some of the best I've seen in a good long time. And let's double check, because I read the name of the artist earlier. Cover art by Monstark, interior artwork by Monstock, Dean Spencer, Luke Oram, Brian Daigle, Daniel Commerci, Thomas Weavag, Matthew Attard, and Adobe Stock. Okay, Adobe Stock, love their work, right? But getting to the other thing that I really enjoyed, besides the maps and the adventure, again, great maps so that you can make a photocopy of that for your players if you so choose, and then later on there's an actual Oh, that one's actually the coded version. Some of the maps have two versions, one for the DM, one for the player. Like this Elysium Starport map, with all the blood and gore that you'd want to have on a Starport map, and even the blood, pretty realistic looking. But this is the uncoded, or there are no room numbers, and gives the player a little something to work with. And then later on, of course, there's the DM version with all the locations statted out and all the encounters. I absolutely love the Venger's mix of gonzo, eldritch horror, sci-fi, fantasy, post-apocalyptic, conglomeration of all the best things in life when it comes to role-playing. Some of the artwork, like this one right here, not really a fan of this style. Sorry, it's a little too comical and not the quality that I would expect, having seen some of the other pieces of artwork. But it does have its own charm to it, and it's probably done by someone who Venger knows and cares about a lot. But then you get artwork like this. That's freaking gorgeous, just gorgeous. And then this little one over here, the ship flying over the mountains, just absolutely perfect artwork. You couldn't ask for better when putting together a role-playing game. Now, toward the back, okay, I got to show this picture off because what the hell is this? I absolutely love it. I want a poster of it, but what the hell? That's freaking hysterical. That's the kind of thing I'm talking about when Venger puts in his own personal touches, his own sense of humor, his own pop culture references. I really cannot wait to get the next one, which will be probably in September, because August is going to kill me with the Kickstarters. I'm backing this cycle, and there's going to be more Kickstarters, and you'll hear about that later. Here's another great image. Dwarf versus Dark Elf. Of course the Dark Elf is going to win because, in my world, anyways, that's what would happen. The dwarf has got a hammer. The elf has got a blade and a lightning bolt aimed at his face. What do you think is going to happen? Now, the thing that surprised me the most and really allowed me to look deeper into what a game would be like hanging out with Venger, which I'm hoping to do sometime soon. There's rumors and talks in the background that's going to be a thing. Was let me go back to it. The appendix. It wasn't what I expected. There's a bit of I'm going to call it an ad for Crimson Dragon Slayer Revised D20. Okay, cool. A really nice snippet of what his game system would be like, and for the most part I can deal with it. In my opinion, most games over the years have been sort of watered down and condensed into the most obvious choices for rules and rulings that over the decades have been kind of through group consensus over the years been solidified into what you're going to expect from just about any RPG these days, less being more in most cases. And so he's given us a primer to what you would get if you were to purchase his version of his RPG. And then we come to Chalt Ascended, again by Venger Satanis, which is more additions to his game. You could literally use what he wrote in here as the complete RPG that you and your friends and family will use, but then a nice cartoony picture of H.P. Lovecraft being psychoanalyzed, past deeds and heroism and cowardice, basically backstories. Roll them up, a D20 chart of backstories that are about a sentence, maybe three, and you're good to go. And finally was the old school Renaissance, Like a Fucking Boss by Venger Satanis, a short talk on the OSR and what it means to him, and what I think this is the equivalent of. Oh wow, there's more than I thought. Hold on, just bear with me, and bear with the dog. He's retarded. The more or less 37 commandments, or the way he runs a game, and his commandments and advice for fellow game masters, starting with rule 0, your will is divine, going all the way to number, like I said, 37, memorialize. And this is the kind of information that every GM should have at least a version of their own. But here we get Venger Satanis' own thoughts onto the basic premise and rules he uses for game mastering, and you can go through it and pick and choose what you like, add to it or delete, things you out just don't agree with. But for the most part, this really sums up the man that we've all come to know and at least respect in what he's done over the years and what he's given to the community. If you don't like that word, suck it, because we are a community. Some of you may not want to be in that community. Some of you may not understand, but for those of you who've gotten to know one another like my son and I have over the years, we value each and every one of you and the relationship we've developed. Enough of that, though. So for the most part, my favorite part was the end of the book and not the credits, as it is with so many movies out there. And a quick shout out to David Guile. I hope you've been able to get in touch with our friends, and I'm hoping that's working out for you guys, because everything happens for a reason. But there you have it. We are looking at just over 225 pages. Not going to count the appendix, or the not the appendix, but the index. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. Dog is really getting on my nerves. But I'm going to put the slipcover back on so you get one last glorious look at this book. I'm not sure if this one's my favorite or not of the two. I kind of am going to go with the first one still being my favorite, just because I was a bigger fan of the overall adventure story idea. But again, the world of Chult sounds right up my alley. Something right there alongside worlds like Arduin. And if you haven't gotten this book, if you haven't gotten anything by Venger Satanis, I'm going to quote our good friend DM James, what are you doing with your life? Go out and grab one of these. This one ran me $40, including shipping, hardcover. I got it within less than a week, I want to say, and autographed. And I think he even bit the bullet a little bit on the shipping. I think it cost a little more than the $5 he quoted me for it. Great guy. Don't let the name fool you. He is one of the best out there among us. I really hope you guys will get back to me in the chat. Let me know what you think of it, or which book you would recommend. Maybe I should go out of order and not get book 3. I'm really looking like I want to grab Alpha Blue, but maybe I'll get that around the holidays for myself. In the meantime, I'm going to go back and get to beating my dog, who just won't shut up. I'm kidding, folks. I've got a busy weekend ahead of me, because the little guy's going to be back hopefully tomorrow, if not Sunday. You'll see the two of us back together at the table doing what we do best, which is cracking jokes and making fun of whatever comes up. Usually that's me. But in the meantime, I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Don't let the heat get to you. Get out there, play some games. That's what we're here for, isn't it? And until next time, happy trails.